what comes forward is actually allowing myself to recognize that, is that I have a sense of relief that comes over me, sort of like just a calmness that would come over if I could embrace that. Just, and when I do, because there's times when I do, right? And I can just feel it's just a comforting, good, happy place to be when I recognize that, in those moments when I recognize and love myself and I just am, it's such a palpable, good spot. It doesn't happen often, but when it's there, it's very recognizable. Like I can feel it as I'm talking about it now, and it brings tears to my eyes. That's where I know I'm supposed to be all the time, but I'm not. But when I'm there, it's a really nice feeling.
Yes. And I love that you have that reference point and that you've had a taste of that, right? I'm seeing some of the comments in the chat, and Evelyn says, this seems to be so common. Why is this? And this brings me back to our topic, right? And this idea of our sacred soul plan and our spiritual curriculum. And so through this conversation, you started out talking about self-trust, which I definitely think that's on the list of curriculum for you. But what else is coming forward as like a big highlighted headline for your growth and learning opportunities?
Self-love, self-acceptance, and self-love, acceptance.
Can I throw in self-compassion?
Absolutely. And interestingly, how I say that I have that again for others, but I said to myself, I'm compassionate, but I need to have more compassion for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I want to take you back to how this whole conversation started when you said, like, I find it really hard to trust other people, but I recognize that is because I don't trust myself. So, and I spoke about the world as our mirror, and that's like reflecting back to us. So when we think about self-compassion and self-acceptance, these are themes. I'm getting back to your question, Evelyn. I'm going around in a big circle like I always do, but this is so common for all of us because not only do we have our own individual curriculum, but we have our collective curriculum. And what would the world be like, Carrie Ann, if more people could have self-compassion and self-acceptance?
It would be a different world.
It would be a different world. And that brings tears to my eyes.
Mm-hmm. It would.
And this is really like the incentive to do the work. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
No, I was just going to say how if the world is a mirror, and I was saying that, as you were saying, if my focus was giving compassion and it came so easily to give it to others. And actually, I believe that if you look in the world, I feel like most people find it so much easier to be compassionate to others, but not themselves. And so if everyone was more self-loving, more compassionate, just recognizing their own value and how we are all love and light, it would be a different world. So it's just it's just it's interesting.
When I coach, there's always like a theme of the week or like a theme of the day. Like it's so, I just am always in awe of the way spirit works through me and through my clients. And so today, this week's theme, it's only Tuesday, is permission. And so my question to you is, what permission do you need to give to yourself to have a little bit more self-compassion and self-acceptance?
I have to give myself permission to maybe make mistakes and not always be right on, and to be human, because yeah, I have to be more compassionate, understanding of my imperfections,
Mm.
for lack of a better word. Yeah. What I might consider my imperfections. I don't know.
Carrie Ann, was this helpful for you?
1,000%. It can
Thank
never
you
not.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing with us today and for your level of honesty and your level of transparency and your level of attunement and awareness